A senior judge has been appointed to the role of caretaker Greek Prime Minister till the country returns to the polls on June the 17th. But in the meantime, the European economy remains on tenterhooks with a much anticipated meeting between Francois Hollande and Angela Merkel failing to calm the markets. The French and German leaders both insist they want Athens to stay in the Eurozone, but there's no sign of an end to the instability. From London, Lisa Miller reports.
Financial markets have delivered their verdict on the latest developments, with shares heading lower as investors moved into safer havens. The euro touched a new 4-month low on fears Greece will refuse to meet its debts.
This would affect all of the financial markets because an uncontrolled situation in Greece is not good. So it's important that clarity is achieved in advance at EU summits and especially between Mr Hollande and Mrs Merkel.
There'd been great expectations of this first meeting between the French and German leaders. The red carpet encounter was 2 hours late after a lightning strike on Francois Hollande's jet delayed his arrival in Berlin. They may have seemed awkward, but both realise they need to plot a course to help Europe through this crisis.
We know the responsibility we have as Germany and France for the good development of Europe. And I think in this spirit we will find the solution.
We want to work together for the good of Europe, but we also want to mobilise all of the other countries of Europe. I also wanted to come to talk to the Chancellor about our work for the coming weeks and months.
Other European countries were looking for signs that there'd be some compromise between the pro-austerity leader and the man who'd campaigned on growth.
France and Germany are the biggest players in the Eurozone and need to have some sort of common script to read from. But I think the basic difficulty for Francois Hollande is that he's made a big deal of wanting to change the direction that Europe's taking by shifting from austerity politics to thinking more directly about growth. But he's done so in a way where he doesn't have a huge amount of leverage over Merkel.
In Greece, they watched the first critical meeting between the two leaders, contemplating what's next for their own country.
I believe this time the Greek people will think their decision through, because as we saw, nobody is willing to govern.
The collapse of coalition talks will see Greece head to the polls again in mid-June.
There is no other solution. It is very difficult for parties with so many differences to form the government. Their programs are completely different.
But another round of political uncertainty will make Greece's place within the Eurozone even more tenuous. Lisa Miller, Late Line.